Hello, 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 everybody. How is everybody doing? Welcome in, Patty Cake Crew. Welcome in, Joshua. Welcome in, E is God's Son. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate each and every one. Can you all hear me all right, or do I need to bring you down some? Was trying to let you see the beauty outside from the window view. Welcome in Shatika Woods Crocheting. Welcome in. Good afternoon, everybody. If you all can't hear me well, let me know. It is a beautiful day outside. Hey, Teagsy enjoys gardening and life. Welcome in. Welcome in. Happy Valentine's Day to you as well, Tixie. Hello, Wellness with Frugal Mama. Thank you all for coming. Joshua, thank you for being the first one in the room. I appreciate all of you beautiful people. It is 64 degrees Fahrenheit in my corner, and it is a bright and beautiful day. I thank you all for coming. I'm always happy to see each and every one of you. If you are here for the first or second time, you are welcome, welcome, welcome. If you are here as a regular, you already know you're welcome. Hello, Jamie. How are you doing? Welcome in. Thank you for coming. Shout out member, Wellness with Frugal Mama, and official Jamia. Welcome in, Frank G. Life. Thank you for coming. I am so excited to see all of you. We're going to have a quick little talk today. We're going to lay some things out on the table. Welcome in, OK Lounge with Gwen Michelle. Thank you for listening. I appreciate each and every one of you. We're on this month of talking about people of African descent. It is the time that has been set aside to honor and to remember the contributions and achievements of Negro people. So we're going to talk a little bit along those lines, but we're going to also just talk about some general stuff, just some free stuff that I have on my mind to talk about. Welcome in, Kevin Tuber Chat. So happy to see you. Thank you so much, Kevin, for sharing on Reddit. I appreciate it. If you all cannot hear me, please let me know. Shout out member OK Lounge of Gwen Michelle, with Gwen Michelle, I'm sorry. Welcome in, Bud Files. Welcome, 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 everybody. So today, I know you guys saw the topic. Be mindful of how we treat others. We always hear that. Be careful, be mindful of how we treat others. I totally agree with it. It's what I believe in, but also the second part to that is my belief. Be careful or be mindful of how we allow others to treat us. We have to keep that point in mind. We cannot allow anyone to talk down to us, to disrespect us, to manipulate us, to bully us, And the list goes on and on. Some people, I have learned in my time of living, some people have the idea that they can talk to others crazy, say what they will, but if someone calls them on the carpet, then that person is being mean, that person is being hateful, that person offended them. But if you cannot take it, don't dish it out. Can somebody tell me if this looks like a vertical live? Does it look like a vertical live? Frank, Tigsy, Jamia, can you guys tell? I thought I put it on vertical, but I don't know. Nope, it's not. Okay. Yes, oh, Jamia said yes. Thank you, Jamia. Thank you so much, honey. So we have to be mindful. Thank you, Wellness. Thank you, Frank. We have to be mindful of how we treat others. And I learned in a college class, not my college class, but when my daughter was in college, I would look at some classes she took online, and I would look and listen to what she was doing in her classwork. And now you know everything is big with threading, conversations online, and all of this. And she was taking a class that talked about that. And one of the things I remember, it's been some years ago, when you are threading online, or if you are talking to someone on the phone, if you're threading, if you're emailing, be mindful of your tone. Tone is everything, because people cannot see your mannerism, your gestures. They cannot see your expressions. And we have to be mindful of how we speak to people in chats, when we're threading, if we're in a college setting and we're interacting with other fellow students and the professor, we have to be mindful of our threads. Threads meaning what we're typing in the chat, the conversation. Sometimes I have typed in things in chats and I look at it and I say, I don't need to say this. I don't even need to say it. And I will delete it and not send it. Sometimes we have to read things back to ourselves and see how they sound to us. Remove ourselves away from it and just see how they sound to us. So I had a situation not long ago. A person that I've known for a long time had called me. I didn't return the call in the same week, but when I did return the call, the person was cold and dry. The tone was off. And this person is a really jovial, joking, playful person, always has been. And I knew something was wrong. And the person kind of in a dry tone said that I didn't call him back. And I said, well, I'm calling you back now. And she was just dry and cold. So I asked her, because I'm straightforward, is there a problem? Do you have a problem? So then we interchanged some words. I mean, it didn't get out of hand like that. But I ended up saying to the person, I am too old, and we're around the same age. I am too old to be bothered with anything or anyone who will cost me my peace. I didn't go back and forth with people when I was young, and I'm not about to start at my seasoned age now. You don't have to. You don't have to. I don't have to. Nobody has to. And I told her, if there is ever a problem with another person and myself, I will just back all the way up. So I just said that, just giving you an example. You don't have to allow people to treat you a certain type of way, especially when you know you have not done anything to that person. Now, I call people sometimes, they may not call me the same day, the same week, maybe not even the same month, but now if it goes on for months and months and months and months, I can understand. But I'm not about to question people. And I told the person, you don't know what is going on in people's lives. Good example is, even on the YouTube streets, when we don't show up in people's lives all the time or whatever, or not looking at videos, people have deaths going on in the family. They have illnesses going on in the family. They just have stuff that they need to be taken care of and got their mind on and all of this. It's just like I had a situation, well, not really a big situation, but when you have a mortgage payment, sometimes the beginning of the year when they do the analysis, you have a shortfall because of insurance increase, because of tax increase. I had that situation last year, and I had to take care of that. To keep my payment from increasing by $400 or $500, I had to pay a great amount of a shortfall to keep that payment, around the same as it was. So this time I had a shortfall whereby my payment went up to like $11 more. That wasn't bad. But last year, so I dealt with that before I got on live. I called my mortgage company. I found out what the problem was. I paid the shortfall, which was like $66, but I paid a little bit more, and it brought my payment down $7 and something, which means that it only went up, I'll say, a little close to $5, $4 and change. So that was good. At least I got rid of the $11. So that was money in my pocket. I'm always looking for ways to save. So I was dealing with that. I had that on my mind. I said, well, I'm going to need to call somebody and talk to them. So I said all of that to say, you don't know what people are dealing with. Just because people are not looking long-faced or whining and crying and all of this, people have real-life situations. And those of you that have mortgage payments, you understand what I'm talking about. So I said to the person, hi, Precious Pieces, thank you for coming. Lynn's Life Lessons, Miss Lori H.G., thank you all for coming. Miss Butterroll Boutique, thank you for coming. Miss Curvy Keith, thank you all for coming. So people have to understand, when you talk to people, watch your tone. And then after I had to explain to her, she became the victim. I offended her, she said. I apologize. I said, I am sorry if I did. I said, but your tone, and I wish it had been recorded and you could hear how, well, I was just playing. I said, no, that's not the way you play. I've been knowing you too long. You are laughing, talking, joking, have people cracking up. No, you were not playing. But after I called you out, then you want to be the victim. So we settled that. We ended on a good note, and thank God for that. But I'm not taking anything off of people I mean, especially if you coming at me, this wasn't the first time, a situation arose and she came for me. So don't come for me. Don't send for me. Don't send for me, because I am a human being and I believe in being kind. I believe in being mindful how I treat people, but at the same time, I am careful how I treat others, how I speak to others. Now, we all can lose it sometimes, and I'm going to talk about that. Welcome in, girl dad. Welcome in. Has any of you ever had a situation like somebody coming for you, and then when you got it straightened out, they became the victim? Has anyone ever experienced that before? It's not my first time experiencing that, and I'm sure it won't be my last time, but you have to say what you need to say. You have to mean what you say, and I believe in honesty. I believe in truthfulness, straightforwardness. But at the same time, I believe in respect. I believe in consideration for others, honoring others, or esteem others. I'm not just going to go around just being a bully, just being manipulative, just talking crazy to people. That's just not who I am, but you're not going to talk crazy to me either. So let's all be careful, because this is real. It's real life. And another thing I have learned, you cannot worry about what another person thinks, feels, or says about you, because just because they said it, it doesn't make it truth. So don't worry. You cannot spend your whole life worrying about somebody doesn't like me, somebody doesn't accept me. Be who you are. Be the person that God has created you to be and purposed you for your life. Don't worry about all of this other stuff around you, because worry is not good. Worry will cause a lot of health issues. You don't have time to lose rest. It doesn't matter if you have known somebody from the day you entered this world. It doesn't matter if it is your family. Don't allow people to treat you or mistreat you any type of way. We have to have assertiveness. We have to get assertive sometimes. We have to call these things out, because I don't know why some people think we don't see them. Just because we don't address everything, it does not mean that I don't see you. I see you. Believe me, I see you, and many others see you as well. So just a little pep talk, a little encouragement. You have to stay on your square. Let's see what Tigsy says. Yes, but I removed myself from those people. I was not raised in a negative environment. Yes, and I refuse to put myself in one as a majority. Exactly, Tigsy. And that is what I said. I didn't deal with this type of action as a young person, and as a seasoned woman, I am not going to allow anybody to cost me my peace. You are absolutely right, Tigsy. I'm sorry. It's a waste of time to go back and forth, because and this is one thing my husband said repeatedly: separate yourself from evil. And I stand on that. Separate yourself from evil. You don't have to put up with the junk. And I'm speaking to some young people that may not realize. Don't go moping and calling people. If you see that people do not want to be bothered, leave them alone. Don't bother people if they want. People will show you who they are. People will show you who they are. And I was talking to my grandson about a situation like that concerning a family member of his. You don't have to keep extending your hand. It doesn't matter who it is. It does not matter. People will show you, they will let you know if they don't want to be bothered with you. And if a person shows you that, then separate yourself from that person. Don't keep trying. Just move on with your life. Move on with your life, because I always say life is sweet, short, and precious. And we have a lot that we could be doing that's positive, a lot that we could be doing to keep ourselves engaged in good things than to worry about the negativity. Have a wonderful day, Tigsy. Thank you so much for coming. She Ray, how are you doing? Thank you so much for coming. I bring it every day. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much, Girl Dad, cooking up deliciousness. Thank you, Lynn's Life Lessons. Thank you, everybody. Joshua, Butter Roll, OK Lounge, Wellness, all of you. Thank you so much for being here. I don't think Frank G. Life, Curvy Key, Lisa J. Stocks, how are you doing? I almost missed you. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you all for being here. Precious Pieces. Tigsy says up here, so true, Miss Patty. Women are really about this. I don't understand it. You can be cordial to some folks and they still are nasty toward you. Yes, harsh. Too many insecure women in this world. Yes, Tigsy, you are absolutely correct. And this is why we have to teach respect. We have to teach our children, grandchildren, and those children around us to respect. We have to. Tuber Chat, thank you so much for being here. Thank you all. E is God's son. Thank you so much, Eric. Thank you, Joshua. Thank you all. We have to teach our children, and I'm going to talk about one other topic. We have to teach our children respect, to be respectful, to be considerate of others. There was a situation, allegedly, that I've been keeping up with, discussed with some others. And this happened in a public school in my area. You know, the children all have phones and they record and this, and this. And I'm going to talk about two situations. But this one in particular, a teacher was caught or recorded cussing out a student or whatever. Okay, that's the part that was recorded. You know, asking, let me see, the question allegedly was, she used a word and then she asked her something about her paying attention or whatever and whatever. I don't know how it went. I wasn't there. That's why I say allegedly. And I'm hearing all of these different stories. But nobody recorded, or that I have heard, what led this on? What did the student say to the teacher? Some people are asking the same question, but some people are saying, oh, she shouldn't have done it, she shouldn't have done this, she shouldn't have done that, you know, blah, blah, blah. But some of these students are disrespectful, and I know this. Some of these students are disrespectful. They're disrespectful to people of their own race. They're disrespectful to people in other races. It is very hard to teach students when they are unruly, they're not paying attention. You're trying to teach them and they're talking and they're, you know, just a lot of busyness, a lot of being on the phones and things of that sort. And I feel that this teacher lost it. And it's probably because of unruly students. And she probably was fed up with it. And I say that because I remember a long time ago when I was in high school, a very long time ago, way back when, we had this teacher of another race. And every time that man would turn his back and try to write on the board and to give instructions, these boys would just be talking, yelling out, disrupting the class, saying everything. And when the man would turn around, it would cease. And they would do that every day in class. That man could not even teach the class. And what they didn't realize, we all were missing out. If we couldn't hear the instructions, if we could not learn what he was trying to teach us, we were missing out. And they did that. They did that a whole school year. That man did not have control. They did not have respect. I know about this type of thing because I sat through it as a high school student myself. And when I tell y'all, it's nothing new under the sun. These things are not new. People have just gotten more bolder about things, more, I'll say, disrespectful, not caring who may hear what they say, who may see what they do. They just don't care. And a lot of these students are bad influences for other students. Students that really want to learn, students that are respectable, but these few bad apples in that classroom can spoil everything. Everything. So I'm just gonna believe that it's a situation where this woman could not teach because of the disrespect, and students will cuss out teachers, they will cuss out principals and everything, everybody around them. They do not care. So we need to look at both sides of the coin before we make judgment on, oh, just because she's another race, she's this, she's that. That is not always the case. That is not always the case. And as I said, some teachers cannot control. Some of these children are just out of control. And the teacher cannot control the class. So let's be mindful. Let's teach our children at home about respect and to respect adults, respectable adults. I'm not telling a child to respect somebody that's trying to do something to them inappropriately. I'm not talking about that. But if it's just a normal situation where you're giving instructions in class and you're being disrespectful, no, that is not tolerated. It's not tolerated. So one lady came forth and said, my daughter was in that latest class and she was a very nice, very sweet teacher. And she had no problems with her. See, sometimes our children are the problems and we are the problems as parents. see, let me get in the chat for a moment. Thank you, She-Ray, for the directives. Let's see, something happened before that. Frank is saying, Josh was saying some students cut in class. That's right, they do. And hang out with bad people in the streets. They couldn't make it on time. They just yes, that's true. Welcome in, Renee. Thank you for coming. Respect goes a long way, and I was about to say that, Renee. We're on the same page. That's right. Respect goes a long, long way. Obey the parents and especially adults too. Yes, kids will test teachers and adults. That's right, Frank, they will. But then if they have the parents not correcting incorrect behavior, that gives them the lead way to do and say whatever they want to say. And then on the other side, the flip side of that, allegedly, a leader in the school, a principal, was doing things along the lines of gambling, allegedly, with students, while students recorded that. And now, I think I told you before, allegedly he's on the hot seat. So we have adults not being adults, and we have students and young people out of control. We have parents out of control. We have leaders not doing what they should do, are out of control as well. So, and I'm talking to black people again. We need to get a grip. We need to take back what the enemy has stolen from us. We lack self-control, respect, honesty, being truthful, being straightforward. We lack these qualities. So we need to get back to what some of us used to be, what the elders tried to teach. We need to get back to that. Welcome in, April Showers Network. Thank you so much for coming. Yes, I agree, Joshua, to pray, but we got to put prayers into action. We got to act on what we pray. I mean, we just can't just pray and then still don't act on it. We got to do better. We got to do better. We can do better. We have to teach the children better. We can't keep going on like we're going. So many are being unalived. So many are being unalived, and so much I have heard about them being disrespectful, not honoring parents and adults, doing things, cussing out parents, cussing out adults, just out of control. And some of it stems from the home. Some of it starts at the home. Because if you don't have a healthy environment, and I'm not saying every home is going to be perfect. No home, my home, your home, or anyone else's, it's not going to be perfect. But you can have some rules in your home. You can set some boundaries. You can teach respect. Though you may not be the best parent, because no parenting came with a guidebook. The only book that can help us and guide us is we follow what the Bible says. But as far as a guidebook as such, like a textbook or something in the natural beside the Bible, because some people may not read the Bible, may not listen to the Bible. We don't have a guidebook. It's trial and error when you're raising children. Thank you so much. I bring it every day. Kelly, thank you so much. Much love to you for the super thanks. super chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So we have to do our best to raise the children the best we know how. Because some of us didn't have good training when we were children. So you have generations of, from one generation to the next, did not have training, and then it moves on to the next generation, and they're following suit. They were not trained properly, so therefore they cannot train their children. Unless this cycle is broken, it's going to go on and on for generations to come. I'm speaking to all of us, black people. Let's do better as grandparents. Grandparents need to stop trying to be with their adult children, trying to get out there and party with them and do this and that and the other. Get in your lane. Know your lane and stay in your lane. Know your lane, get in it, and stay in it. Okay? Let's just pray for direction. Let's use common sense. Let's use wisdom. We can pray for wisdom. We can pray for knowledge. We can pray for discernment. Let's pray for these things. God will give us the desires of our heart. If we desire to have these things, we can have them. We're not going to be perfect, no, but we can do better. I'm not perfect and never will be. I think I did pretty good with my children, but I wasn't a perfect parent. But I did believe in teaching just the basic things of respect. Treating people the way you expect them to treat you. I taught those things. I taught manners. Please excuse me. Thank you. I'm in the South. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Yes, sir. No, sir. It's not going to hurt. This is the way I was trained. I'm not saying I've adopted everything that I heard my parents say or do or whatever, but I did adopt many things. Many things. So, black people, let's just not wait to be black in February. We are black 12 months of the year, 52 weeks in the month, 365 days, and sometimes 366. We are black. Let's just not wait for 1 week or 1 month to talk about our blackness, our heritage, our people that accomplish things. We know they accomplish things. We know they achieve things. We know they paved the way for us to have things better. They were trailblazers. Let's remember that 12 months in the year. Not just wait to start honoring 1 month of the year, February. Let's think about these things all year. I think we'll be better off as a people, as a race. Stop pointing fingers at everybody else, because we play a big role in what happens with our children. But we always want to shift the blame on someone else. We can't do that. We can't do it. We have to take accountability for our actions. We have to take accountability for not stepping up and doing what we need to do. Black men, Be in the lives of your young men growing up. I just don't believe, and I know in certain situations, the mother is left to rear the children. It could be death, it could be anything. The mother will have to rear the children. But black men, if you have children and you are able, you're an able body, even if you are not with the mother, take an interest in your children. Talk to your young men. If some fathers would be there for their children, especially their young males, they wouldn't go out looking for family in the street, getting involved in everything and anything. You may get out there in the streets, but those streets don't love you back. You love the streets, but the streets don't love you back. Understand this. Men, reach out to your sons. If you don't live in the house with your sons, spend quality time with them. It's not just about money. Oh, I give my son $500 a month. That is nothing if you're not spending quality time with your son. Your son needs your training. Women cannot train boys to be men. Just like men cannot train girls to be women. It's got to be somebody in the lives. And I know men that have raised their children and did a phenomenal job. But if you have young ladies, young girls, you're going to need a female present to teach those girls certain things that you as a man cannot teach them. Women can tell them about menstrual cycles. They can tell them along the lines of them being young women and what it was like for them. They can tell young ladies about menopause. Men cannot do that. Men cannot do that. Men can train their boys to respect women, to respect your mothers, to respect ladies. Open the door for the ladies and what have you, so on and so forth. It doesn't hit the same with a woman trying to teach a male child. If the daddy is not present, maybe your young men may have uncles, great uncles, a grandfather, a pawpaw, or something like that, or some mentor, positive, upright, outstanding person, because I know you cannot trust everybody around your children, teaching them this, that, or the other. You need to know what's being imparted into your children. But think about it. Men, pay attention to your young men. Sometimes these young males are crying out to their fathers for help. And sometimes they don't get the help they need. And I know it doesn't just happen among our race, but I'm mainly focused on our race right now. That's the focus right now. And not only should we have these conversations in February, we should have certain conversations all year long. And I do attend forums where young people are involved, where they're talking to the youth. I've been doing that for years, since Tyler was a little boy. And even before him, I was involved in different panel discussions and forums, listening to what people had to say concerning the children and the community where I live. Yes, Renee, Wellness, She-Ray, Okay, Lounge, and Joshua. These things need to be said. I thank God for this platform because we can reach some people that we will never ever meet in person. Even if people are hanging out in the watchtowers, in the woods, in the bushes, whatever, something may be said that they can take back and use in their own lives or the lives of their families. Maybe some things that they did not know. It may be some things that they may not have thought about. But when they listen to us come on these panels and speak about real life situations and motivation, encouragement, inspiration, prayerfully, something will be said that they can take away and improve their lives or the lives of their family by talking to them. Maybe they did not have somebody to talk to them. I saw a content creator say the other day she wished she had had her grandmother to talk to her about family, but she didn't have that. A lot of us didn't have that. A lot of us did not have that. So if you come to positive channels, inspiration, and talking about real life situations, you can learn. And even there may be some other cultures here. Something may be said that you can hold on to, that you may not have known, that you may not have thought about. Because I do know from looking at statistics that black people are not the only ones committing crimes. But I'm just focused right now on black people, being it that I am a seasoned Negro woman. So let's keep this in mind. Let's ask questions when we need to. That's why I don't shut my young grandson up when he's asking questions. I want him to ask questions. I want him to be outgoing, outspoken, but with respect. Whatever, I tell him, whatever you don't understand, whatever you don't know, you can come to me. He can go to his parents. He can go to his auntie and ask. We don't shut him down and say, oh boy, go sit down. You know, that's what they used to do with the children. They couldn't say certain things. They couldn't ask a question unless they would get fussed at, yelled at, cussed at, hit in the mouth, and all this stuff. But that was because the parents and grandparents, aunties, and all of that just didn't know any better. They were doing the best they could. They were doing the best they could. And it probably was handed down them by their elders. So I don't cold water our elders, people that have gone on before us, our ancestors. They did well. Considering the type of pressures and different lifestyle situations that they had to deal with, they did the best they could. And sometimes they were frustrated because of the lack of things that were needed. So I hold them in high esteem. I like to give respect and remembrance to all of them who have gone on. They did their best. They loved their families. They took care of the families the best they could. They even invited other people from the community and allowed them to stay in their homes. I have had people stay with me just short term, in abusive kind of situations, for a few days, a few nights, and that's all. But I can remember my mom would wash clothes for people, college students that lived across the street from her, that were boarding with somebody. She would wash their clothes. They would come across the street and talk to some of the young men that she boarded as college students. She'd be in there washing all them young men clothes, feeding them. And I remember a young man who stayed across the street from her. He was boarding at a home across the street. She had two young men boarding at her home. And this particular young man that was boarding at home with her had a situation at school, and he needed some papers signed for his work study. And he came from a small town that was, I'll say, 55 to 60 miles away from where we live. My mom was calling me at work. Can I drive this boy to his grandma's house in the country to get these papers signed, because this child needs to be able to work study. He got to get these papers signed. His grandmother's in the bed sick. Can I go and take him? So y'all know what the end of the story is. I got off work, went by her house, picked him up, took him to the country to get those papers signed. He was a happy child. Then after that, I bought grocery and stuff for him because his grandmother was sick. She was elderly. She was in the bed. She didn't know about a lot of things or how to do a lot of things. And this child was trying to go to school. So we have to roll up our sleeves and help in the community. We have to help. That young man did not forget that once he finished school, he came back several times to pay my mother a visit, to talk to her, call her, to ask her how she was doing. She didn't want anything from him, but he did not forget her. He would ask about me and the family, you know. So a lot of times people don't forget. And even if they do, it's all right. If God led you to do a certain thing, you do it and you don't look back, because you will have your blessings. And let's see who is here. Welcome in, Associate Minister Terry. Welcome in, Stock Explorer Nora. Thank you so much for coming in, honey. Thank you all. Let's see what Minister Terry said. We're all farmers in another person's life. We can plant seeds or we can plant weeds. Absolutely correct. Absolutely, Minister Terry. And Renee says, yes, we must help each other. That's so true. So true. And when we help somebody, we don't have to go around telling the world, I did this, I did that, I did the other. That is not what you do. When you do it from your heart, if somebody tells it, that's them, but you don't have to go around. I did this, I did this. My mom did a lot for a lot of people, and sometimes when people come to her now and tell her, you remember when you went in your closet and you gave me a brand new dress with a tag on it because I needed a dress to wear to church and you gave me that dress? My mom said she had forgotten about that. So you do it, it's done, you get your blessings, and leave it right there. And that's the way I am. Somebody told me not long ago that I bought some shoes and a doll and some clothes, you know, for their family member. I had kind of forgotten that. Really, I had. I did not, until it was brought to my attention. I had totally forgot. So if you can help somebody along the way, your living won't be in vain. Just help them and go on. I could not be a wealthy or a rich person and watch people in need and not give them what they need. I could not. I would not want it all for me and mine. You have to extend a hand and help others. And Gwen says, Minister Terry says, weeds are the negative things of life and the darkness of life. Absolutely. The question is, what are you planting in another person's life? And Gwen says, once we unite and get rid of the yard versus house ninja, yes, mentally, then togetherness and power will come. I agree. I agree. That's right. Some people have the field and the house mentality. I'm better than you because I'm in the house and you're in the field. I get what you're saying. I get exactly what you're saying. Blessings to you as well, Gwen. Thank you for your comments. Minister Terry Jones, thank you for being an outstanding moderator in the YouTube streets. Thank you all for being part of this discussion. I appreciate it, and I appreciate each and every one of you. Some of you I may not have seen in a while, but you are welcome, welcome, welcome. I am happy to see you anytime you can spend some time with us. We don't take it for granted because nobody owes me anything. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for coming into the live. Thank you for those who will watch the replay. And thank you for those who may be watching but cannot speak or just want to listen instead of just typing. I understand that because sometimes I'm like that too. And you miss a lot when you have to just be speaking to everybody, but we do our best. Whatever suits you, that is what you do. Thank you so much, Renee. Thank you so much, and much love to you. Continued healing to you, to Debbie Nixon and Vaughn. Vaughn just lost a relative and is traveling to New York. Let's keep her uplifted in prayer. She has been going through a health crisis, so let's keep her uplifted in prayer. Vaughn, V-O-M, the voice, it matters. And I'm keeping you and Sister Debbie Nixon in prayer as well. Renee's Secret Garden. So I'm praying for all of us to be better, to do better, to be better today than we were yesterday and the day before. Let's get better and not bitter as we travel this life's journey. Thank you all. And let's see what Mr. Terry is saying. We must remember there are two things that a person can do with your help. Use your help as a bridge. Take personal responsibility. Use your help as a crutch. Lack of personal responsibility. You're right, because some people you can help and they never take responsibility. They just continuously wanting help, and just use it as a crutch. You're right, Minister Terry. Take Care Wellness with Frugal Mama. Thank you so much. Much love to you, Joshua. Prayers, Gwen Michelle. Thank you all for your conversation. I've enjoyed each and every one of you. Thank you all for coming. I intended for this to be about 30 minutes long, but y'all know sometimes I can talk and go on and on and on and on. But it has been good. And I will see you guys in those YouTube streets, or I will meet you at your house, at your lounge, in your yard, or wherever, and return the same respect and favor to each one of you as I love your content. Everyone that I'm seeing here now, you have great content and encouragement, motivation, whatever you're doing, your wellness, with your health, your body. Frugal Mama, Gwen Michelle, chopping it up on inspiration, awareness, motivation, and some entertainment as well. And a shout out to the lounge DJ. I don't see him right here, but a big shout out to Anthony Holmes Anthony Holmes Music 71 and Anthony Holmes Music. Shout out to the DJ of the lounge. Thank you all, and I will see you guys on the next one. May the Lord bless you, may the Lord keep you, and may the Lord makes his face to shine upon you. And I used to hear this in church. Let me see. May the Lord keep you while we're absent one for another. It went something like that. I remember vaguely. I'll get it together. I'll think of it. I know when I get off. May the Lord watch between me and you while we're absent one for another. Something like that. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Cammy Dog. Hi, Cammy Dog. You're looking. Cammy Dog is looking and listening. Yes, Cammy Dog knows my voice. She is a smart girl. She is always listening and looking. She's a guard dog. She's guarding, always guarding her territory. So that is Gwen Michelle's little lady doggy, Cammy Dog. So thank you all for coming, and I know you all see the traffic passing by on the street here. And thank you for letting me know that I am doing the vertical live. Tyler and I looked at it last night, and that's what I was trying to do when I did the little 6-minute video. And I think because he was calling me on the phone, it broke the connection and you all could not hear me. I apologize for that. I started to take it down, but after I saw it was getting some traffic, I have not taken it down. I guess it's content. As bad as it was, I guess it's content anyway. So I'll talk to you guys on the next video. Thank you so much.